Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe Jaya Jagannatha Jagannatha Baladeva Jaya Subhadramaya Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki Grandra Srimad Bhagavatam ki Srila Prabhupada Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhirai Nastaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama-shloke Bhaktir-bhavati Naistiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah Hare Krishna. Today we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 9, the supreme character of Jadabharata, text number 11. Text is in the prose order. Yada tu parata aharam karma vetanata irhamanaha svabhratrubhir api kedar karmani niropitastad api karoti kintu nasamam vishayam nasamam vishamam न्यूनम अधिकम इति वेद कन पिन्याका फली करुणा कुमलशः कुल्मषा स्थालिपुरीशादिन अपि अमृतवद् अभ्यवयर्हति. Let's read word meaning. Word meaning. Yadha, when, to, but, parataha, from others, aharam, food, karma, vetanataha, in exchange for wages from working. Ihamana, looking for. Swapratrubihi api, even by his own step brothers. Kedara karmani, in working in the field and adjusting the agricultural work. Nirupitaha, engaged tad api at that time also karoti he used to do kintu but na not samam level vishamam uneven nyunam deficient adhikam more raised iti thus veda he knew kana broken rice pinyaka oil cakes palikaruna the chaff of rice kulmasha warm eaten rice stali purisha adini burned rice stuck to the pot and so on api even amrutavat like nectar abhyavaharhati used to eat. Translation purport by Jadbharat used to work only for food. His stepbrothers took advantage of his and engaged him in agricultural fieldwork in exchange for some food. But actually, he did not know how to work very well in the field. He did, he did he didn't know where to spread dirt or where to make the ground level or uneven. His brothers used to give him broken rice, oil cakes, the chaff of rice, warm eaten grains, and burned grains that had stuck to the pot. But he gladly accepted all this as if it were nectar. He did not hold any grudges and ate all this very gladly. The platform of Paramahamsa is described in Bhagavad Gita 2:15. Samadukka sukham dhiram somritatvaya kalpate. When one is callous to all duality, the happiness and distress of this material world, one is fit for amritatva, eternal life. Bharat Maharaj was determined to finish his business in this material world, and he did not at all care for the worldly duality. He was complete in Krishna consciousness and was oblivious to good and evil, happiness and distress. As stated in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Dvaite Badra Badra Jnana Sabha Manodharma Yei Bhala Yei Manda Sabha Brahma. In the material world, the conceptions of good and bad are all mental speculations. Therefore, saying this is good and this is bad is all mistake. One has to understand that in the material world of duality, to think that this is good or that is bad is simply a mental concoction. However, one should not imitate this consciousness. One should actually be situated on the spiritual platform of neutrality. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha Namavom Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nitinamani Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvushe Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. First of all, seeking blessings from all the assembled devotees so that I can speak on this Srimad Bhagavatam as a glorification to the Lord and for my own purification. This is very great subject matter, the exalted characteristics of uh, Maharaj Bharat Maharaj. Now he is playing the role of Jada Bharata. So we used to hear Bhagavad Gita is a book of principles and instructions. So many principles are given in Bhagavad Gita and the elaboration is given in Srimad Bhagavatam. So we can understand those principles more elaborately in Bhagavatam through so many characters and stories. So Bhagavad Gita says something and we can understand them more better in Bhagavatam. So Bhagavad Gita speaks about that reincarnation. It is not a fiction, it is a fact. So in this story of Bharat Maharaj, we can see that how the soul reincarnates and accepts another body. The law of last thought, it is said, whatever you remember at the time of death, that's what is you are going to take. So here, Bharat Maharaj, at the time of death, he remembered a deer and he ended up becoming a deer. And Srila Prabhupada says in one of the lecture that here he is the king of the world actually. He ended up becoming a deer. Similarly, one of our former prime minister, he became a dog in Sweden. You know, according to an astrologer, famous astrologer, he is wandering as a dog in Sweden. So that is also a fact. Jai Shri Shada Madan Mohan ki Jai. Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Maya ki. Shri Shri Gaunitai ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. So that is what is told in Bhagavad Gita, and this pastime of Bharat Maharaj is exemplifies that principle that reincarnation is a fact. And there are many other principles which are told in Bhagavad Gita. Here Prabhupada is writing. Samadukka Sukham Dhiram Somritatvaya Kalpati. So one of the constant theme in Bhagavad Gita is that be equal in all situations. So, and the result is, so Amritatvaya Kalpate, you are eligible for attaining liberated from this material world. So, we may say, how can we be equal in all situations, right? There will be sometimes we are happy means happy, unhappy means unhappy, right? How can we be happy in all situations or equal in all situations? Situations are not same, right? So I was hearing in one of the lecture, my spiritual master is telling, in those days in America, there was one famous, coach of baseball. He had a principle. He always used to say to the team, and when you are losing the match, when you lose the match, you should be more happy than when you win the match. So based upon that principle, he created so many successful teams. you know. So he used to say, when you lose, then what happens? Then you have more opportunity to know your weakness, where you are weak, and you have opportunity to rectify and become better in your next game. So whenever you are becoming loose, you are realizing your shortcomings and your opponent's strengths. You know. So in that way, losing is also a blessing, not that only winning. Mm. So in that, when you win, you are anyway happy. When you lose, also you can be happy about it because you are knowing your deficiencies and you can become better. So that is a great opportunity. So in that way, you can be happy in both situations. When you are winning, you are be happy. When you are losing, also you can be happy. So that's what is Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita. You be happy in equal in all situations. So here, Bharat Maharaj, you can see. So he is completely indifferent to the world, you know, and whatever it is coming, he is just accepting, as a he is not endeavoring to, make things better. That's what is all our, in our attempts is how to make things better, how to make life more comfortable. So, but here, if you see, he is accepting the food, whatever broken rice or something, warm eaten rice or it is burned out rice. Just he is accepting. That's what Krishna also tells in Bhagavad Gita. Yadricha lava santushtu. Dvandvatito vimatsaraha. 422 in Bhagavad Gita. If you see, Krishna is telling actually, he just accepts. Yadricha means whatever comes on its own accord. He doesn't try to, uh, browse here and there. This is what from here. This is good. From there, that is good. He doesn't so much try what is available in which place. And no, he just accepts whatever comes. Actually, Prabhupada says in one of the Chanakya Pandit, one of the principle, we should be happy with three things in our life. We should not be happy with three things in our life. We should be satisfied with three things. One is the food, whatever comes into our plate. Should be happy about it. And the second thing he says, the income, whatever you get by destiny. You know. The third thing is uh, about husband. He should be happy with his wife. You know, and the wife should be happy with the husband. That's what destiny allowed me, and you be happy with these three things, whatever it comes. And you should not be satisfied with three things. You shouldn't be satisfied with knowledge, whatever you are gaining. बहुत कुछ जान लिया. I learned so much. Like that, you should never think. You shouldn't be satisfied with sadhana, japa, chanting of the holy name. I am chanting so many rounds, that's enough. You should not be. And the third thing is, you shouldn't be satisfied with contribution, seva contribution, whatever I am doing. So here, you should not be satisfied. Here, we should be satisfied. But the opposite only happens always. We are more satisfied with our chanting of the holy name and our acquiring knowledge and our seva contribution. मैं बहुत कुछ कर रहा हूँ. I am doing more than required maybe. That we think. And here we are always dissatisfied. The thing is, the more you are dissatisfied with these three things, we endeavor more and more chanting and acquiring knowledge and service contribution that makes our heart deeply satisfied, and that with that strength we can be able to handle the other three things: the food, the wife, and you know other things, income, and all these things. You can balance that things. Otherwise, you cannot balance. Hmm? Here, Krishna is telling actually, Yadricha Lava Santushtu. Here, Bharat Maharaj, Jadabharta is exemplifying that quality to the topmost extent actually. That's why Prabhupada is telling in the end, we cannot imitate this. We cannot imitate what is the Bharat Maharaj is doing, but we can understand what is the principles and try to apply at our own level. So how he is able to do? He is completely satisfied first of all within. Bhagavad Gita says, "Apuryamana machala pratishta samudramapa pravashanti yadvat kamayam pravashanti sarve sashanti mapnoti na kama kami." And Krishna gives the analogy that as rivers are entering into ocean, during the rainy season, there are so many rivers are flooding and they are entering into the ocean. And the ocean never feels that it is, so many water is coming, I am overflowing like that. It will never have that. It is happening. So during the summer season, there is no much rivers entering into the ocean. But still, ocean is also not disturbed. Nothing is coming. So because the ocean has its own depth, it doesn't depend upon the external coming and not coming of other rivers. So similarly, a person who is very deep in Krishna consciousness is unaffected by the surroundings. Somebody is giving respect, somebody is not giving respect. He is not at all worried about all these things. So here, this Bharat Maharaj, you can see Jada Bharata, he is completely aloof from all these things. Somebody is respecting him now, not. So like that, it speaks about Dvandva. So many places Bhagavad Gita speaks about this Dvandva. So, and how to overcome that Dvandva also, it is said in Bhagavad Gita. येषां तु अंतगतं पापं जनानां पुण्यकर्मणां ते द्वंद्व मोह निर्मुक्तो भजन्ते मां दृढव्रत. So द्वंद्व gives rise to moha, and that moha illusion that makes us suffer in this world. And how to come out of that? Here two things are told. Yesham tu antagatam papam, one should give up sinful activities and engage in punya karmanam, pious activities, means punya shravana kirtana. Srinvatam Swakata Krishna, punya shravana kirtana. That is what is punya, not mundane punya. So by that what will happen? Ignorance is destroyed first of all. When you avoid sinful activities and engage in devotional activities by which ignorance is destroyed, in that way a person becomes fixed up in his devotion service. Bhajante mam dhradavrata. At that time, that's dhradavrata. Here you can see how much here Jadabharata is so determined actually. Prabhupada writing, now he decided, I shall have to finish this business in this very lifetime. So why he is able to do that? Here Prabhupada, Bharat Maharaj was determined to finish his business in this material world, and he did not care at all for the worldly world of duality. Yeah? So yesterday our Prabhu is giving that formula, right? It, purpose is inversely proportional to duality. So to the degree our purpose is not strong, to the degree dualities will affect. Sometimes I observe this when you are traveling in train, in train you see some person who is selling water bottles, right? So if you see, where he will be happy, AC compartment or non-AC compartment? Non-AC compartment only, right? But AC compartment is more comfortable, but sales are more in non-AC compartment or general compartment. Right? That means he is not affected by duality. AC or non-AC doesn't matter actually. For him, where money comes, that is only matters. So he is more happy in non-AC or even general crowded places. Understand? Because that's what is giving him the income. So like that, in this world only we can see how much people are very, and the purpose is very strong in their mind, that external things doesn't matter actually. It doesn't affect him so much. So here it is said, it is all manodharma. It is said, Dvaite Badra Abhadra Jnana Sabha Manodharma. Ei Bala, Ei Manda Sabha Brahma. He was telling actually all these things are, this is good, this is bad, all these things are a kind of mental concoction. So why? Because anything can go wrong and turn in different way. And we think this is going on wonderful, this is the best situation, but this situation may turn into bad situation also. Hmm? So, like that, we hear some stories that one of the devotees doing book distribution, and at that time, in some country which is not allowed to distribute religious books, and he was caught by some KGB agent. And he was in civil dress. This fellow could understand that he is the person, you know, is police person in civil dress, and that person also understood that he understood me, you know. And he is slowly coming towards him to catch him, and he is also slowly you know walking away. And he understood he is trying to escape, and he started running, and he also started running along with the box of books, and he is chasing him now. And he is running through gullies and everything, finally entered into one of the function hall, you know where something is going on, and he entered there. And that fellow lost the track actually, where he went, he missed. And as soon as he entered in the function, the host is telling, we have ordered some gifts, it is about to come, in short time. As soon as it comes, we will give you. And he comes with the box of what you have brought. These are very, personality development books, like that, he says. You give one everybody, and he says he gives everybody, and whatever the amount, he gives money, and he sends him. you know you know in one sense, you see, what the situation which is supposed to be bad, it ended up becoming very good situation. We don't know actually in this world what situation leads to where, and we think this is the best situation as of now, but that situation may become bad, and we think this is the bad situation that may end up becoming good. So it is very difficult to judge this is good, this is bad, or whatever. And we hear that story that a farmer has a horse, you know and the horse, one day, it misses, it goes somewhere, and he is completely satisfied soul. Yadricha lava santushtu. And the neighbor is thinking, "Arey, very misfortune, your horse has missed out." He says, whatever, Krishna's mercy, Krishna only given the horse. you know and after some time, the horse comes back with one more horse, she horse. Oh, neighbor thinks, yeah, good fortune. You know, it went but brought one more. Whatever Krishna sends. And the farmer's son rides the other horse, with new horse, because that is not trained. That makes him fall, and it damages his hands and legs and everything. Neighbor says, hey, bad fortune. I thought it is good fortune. You know, Bhagavan ka krupa hai, jo bhi ho. And after that, there is a war in the, you know, in the state, and the king sends so many soldiers to recruit young people. And they happen to come to him, and sees this fellow is already broken legs and everything, is not fit. They take the neighbor fellow's son, and he is killed in the war only. You know? And he thinks he is good fortune, no? Whatever happened to your son is good. So in that way, it is very difficult to understand actually what is good fortune, what is bad fortune, and we label it. This is what is the best situation, you know, and this should not happen to me. But anything can go anywhere actually. So ultimately, we have to understand what is good, what is bad, what is helping us to take towards Krishna. You know, that's what is good situation. What is helping us to advance in Krishna consciousness, that's what is a good situation. What is taking us away from Krishna consciousness, that's bad situation. And we hear the story of the king who lost the finger, right? And the minister is telling, actually, it is Bhagavan ka krupa hai, kya krupa hai? And he will put him into jail. And after some time, he is again caught up in a tribal place, and they are about to kill him by chopping off his head. But they see he is not fit. His finger is already not there. He is defective piece. He cannot be offered. Bog nahi laga sakte inko. you know. So he was left, and the minister who is next to him, he is good. He was, given the bali, and now he understands actually that is best situation. Whatever happened, losing the finger, because Krishna taken my finger before, and because of that, my head is now saved. If the finger is not lost, my head will be lost now. So, so it is very difficult to judge immediately this situation is good or bad. We think this is what is good, this is all bad actually. So here, very famous statement from Chaitanya Charitamrita by Kaviraj Goswami. ये सब मनोधर्म is a Brahma. Your Prabhupada is telling. So we can see actually, and there are so many principles are there in Bhagavad Gita that is exemplified in Bhagavatam. Krishna says this, you know, somebody can fall down temporarily. Apicheta suduracharo bhajite mam ananyabhak sadhureva samantavya samyak vyavasito saha. So somebody may temporarily get deviated and can fall down, but again situated in his position, and he should be considered sadhu. क्षिप्रम भवति धर्मात्मा शश्वच्छांति निगच्छति कौन्तेय प्रतिजानेहि नमे भक्त प्रणश्यति. My devotee will never perish. So this is the example. Actually, Bharat Maharaj temporarily got deviated, but again repented, reinstated, rectified, and did not repeat it. So this is the same example, and Bharat Maharaj, this and Ajamil story also. He also got temporarily deviated and again reinstated and did not repeat it. So this shows actually happens. Some slips may happen, some fall downs may happen temporarily, but a devotee will again rise. It is said life is not about falling; it is about rising at every step. So he fell down, obviously, but again raised, reinstated, and went ahead. So recently I was hearing a very nice statement. A grandfather is telling to his grandson, for a pencil, there is a eraser is there. Eraser is for those who makes mistakes. And grandson is telling, no grandpapa, eraser is there for those people who want to correct their mistakes. So everybody makes the mistakes, but not everybody want to correct their mistakes. Here they corrected and they reinstated and they went ahead actually. So in that way they should be considered also sadhus. Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, they are properly situated again. So in that way we can see from the Chaitanya Charitamrita also how Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very, very careful in in dealing with material energy and Maya. When he was given the proposal that King Prataprudra want to meet you, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not agree only. No, nothing doing. So many people told actually he is very good person, very nice Vaishnava. But after thoroughly proven that King Prataprudra is a Vaishnava, more than a king, he is a Vaishnava, then only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, gave his mercy. That we can see so many instances that Ramananda Rai says that actually when I wanted to retire and join you, immediately Prataprudra, gave me the sanction to join you, and he gave them full pension. So he is a very wonderful person. So Ramananda Rai recommends, Prataprudra. Whatever you are saying is good, but only the tag is there, king. That is a problem. Everything is fine, but that one line, one small word is there, king. That is not proper. Then afterwards we can see that actually how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw actually the attitude of Prataprudra. Then Nityananda Prabhu recommends, at least you give one of your Angavastra by which the Prataprudra will be pacified. Otherwise, he wanted to give up the kingdom and want to become a beggar. So when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sends his Angavastra, Prataprudra immediately starts worshipping, does arati to that. So that's what actually his respect towards devotees and everything. And afterwards, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu see Prataprudra brooming in front of Jagannath Rath very humbly and offering menial services. And not only that, one more instance happens that when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is dancing in front of Ratha, at that time all the devotees are watching Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ecstatic dance. At that time, Prataprudra is standing there and he is also watching, keeping his hand on one of his servant called Harichandana. So in front of them, Srivas Thakur is there. He is also watching the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dance. Srivas Thakur is just coming in front of Prataprudra. Because of which he is not able to see. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu dancing. So this Harichandana is trying to push, Srivas Thakur, move aside. King is there behind, no, he wanted to see. So like that he is pushing. But Srivas Thakur is completely absorbed in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, dance, and he felt somebody is what is doing, pushing me, He just turned aside and he sees this Harichandana is pushing him, and he gives me a tight slap, to Harichandan. And he becomes so angry actually. How dare you to beat me? You know who am I? You know? So, but immediately Prataprudra says, don't become angry actually. You are so fortunate. You got the, hand touch of a great Vaishnava, Srivas Thakur. I feel great misfortune because I did not got this mercy what you got. Like that. So many instances actually that attitude of Prataprudra is so much seen. And finally, when Prataprudra was sent to massage the feet of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, at that time, Prataprudra is reciting this Gopi Gita. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately, rises and embraces Prataprudra. Bhurida, Bhurida, you are so magnanimous. And he asks, you are giving me so much pleasure. Who are you? So that is the most testing question actually. Prataprudra never said actually, my lord, I am the same king Prataprudra. You have rejected me so many times. Finally, So he didn't say that. He says, Raja kahe ami tumar dase ranandasa. Vrutyara vrutya kahe yei mora asha. So I am servant of yours. That's only my desire. So there he completely won the heart of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he received the mercy. So like that you can see how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his Leela, he showed actually how he very carefully dealt with even the great personality is a king. But he is proven more Vaishnava than a king. So, and in that Rath only, that afterwards one of the festival comes is about Hera Panchami. Today is the Hera Panchami festival. It is said Hera means seeing. Nayanay Heribo Sada Yugala Ruparashi. And Panchami means fifth day. Fifth day, seeing. Who is seeing whom and what happened on that day. So let us try to see from Chaitanya Charitamrita. So it is there in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 14, text 115. So 114. नीलाचले आइला पुनः भक्तगण संगे देख. Want to read? नीलाचल आइला पुनः भक्तगण संगे देखिते उत्कंठ हेरा पंचमीर रंगे. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his personal devotees returned to Nilachala with great eagerness to see the Hera Panchami festival. Kashi Mishra Prabhura Bahu Adara Kariya Bure Bahu Adara Kariya Swagana Sahabala Stane Vashalilaya. Kasi Mishra received Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with great respect and taking the Lord and his associates to a very nice place, and he had them seated. Yadiyapi Jagannatha Karena Dwarakaya Vihara Sahaja Prakata Kare Paramudara Tadabi Vatsara Madhye Haya Ekabara Vrindavana Dekite Tanra Utkanta Apara. Although Lord Jagannath enjoys his pastimes at Dwarka Dham and naturally manifests sublime liberality there, still Once a year, he becomes unlimitedly eager to see Vrindavan. Vrindavana samaye upavanagana taha dekhi bhare utkantita hayamana kantita hayamana. Pointing to the neighboring gardens, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, all these gardens exactly resemble Vrindavan. Therefore, Lord Jagannath is very eager to see them again. Bahira haite kare rata yatra chale Sundara chale yaya Prabhu chadi nila chala. Externally, he gives the excuse that he wants to participate in Rath Yatra festival, but actually he wants to leave Jagannath Puri to go to Sundarachala, the Gundicha temple, a replica of Vrindavan. Nana pushpodhyanetaha kela ratri dine Lakshmi devera sange nahilaya ki karane. The Lord enjoys his pastimes day and night in various flower gardens there. But why he does not take Lakshmi Devi, the goddess of fortune, with him? Swarupa kahit suna Prabhu karanai hara Vrindavana kridate Lakshmira nahi adhikara. Swarup Damodar replied, my dear Lord, please hear the reason for this. Lakshmi Devi, the goddess of fortune, cannot be admitted to the pastimes of Vrindavana. Vrindavana Lilaya Krishnera Sahaya Gopigana Gopigana Vina Krishnera Harite Nari Mana. In the pastimes of Vrindavan, the only assistants are gopis. But for the gopis, no one can attract the mind of Krishna. Prabhu kahe yatra chale Krishnera gamana Subhadra ara baladeva sange dui jana. The Lord said, using the car festival as an excuse, Krishna goes there with Subhadra and Baldev. Gopi sange yatalila haya upavane Nighuda Krishnera bhava keha nahi jane. All the pastimes with the gopis that take place in those gardens are very confidential ecstasies of Lord Krishna. No one knows them. Atayeva Krishnera prakataya nahi kichu dosha. Tabe kena Lakshmi Devi kare eka etarosha. Since there is no fault at all in Krishna's pastimes, why does the goddess of fortune become angry? Swarupa kahe prematira yayita swabhava kantera audasina leshahaya krodha bhava. Swarup Damodar replied, it is the nature of a girl afflicted by love to become immediately angry upon finding any neglect on the part of her lover. Hina kahe kachita yahe vividha ratana Suvarnera chaudola kari arohana. While Swarup Damodar and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were talking, the procession of goddess of fortune came by. She was riding upon a golden palanquin carried by 4 men and bedecked with varieties of jewels. Chatra chamara dvija patakaragana पताकरगणा नानावाद्ये आगे नाचे देवादासी गणा. The palanquin also surrounded by the people carrying umbrella, chamara, whisks and flags, and it was preceded by musicians and dancing girls. So this is the day Lakshmi Devi comes to visit Jagannath Ji in the Sundarachala, in the Gundicha temple. Because Jagannath says, I will go and come back in one day. But 4 days happened that he did not return. Where this fellow has gone? No? Lakshmi Devi goes out with so many of her servants in a golden palanquin with fully decorated with jewelry, golden ornaments and everything. Tambula samputa jari vyajana chamara. साथे धासी सतहरा द्वियभूषांभरा. The maid servants were carrying the water pitcher, chamara, whisks and boxes for betel nuts. There were hundreds of maid servants, all attractively dressed and wearing valuable necklaces. Alaukika Aishwarya Sange Bahu Parivara. Kriddaha ye Lakshmi Devi Aila Simha Dwara. In an angry mood, the goddess of fortune arrived at the main gate of the temple, accompanied by many members of her family, all of whom exhibited uncommon opulence. Jagannadhira Mukhya Mukhya Yata Bhrutya Gane Lakshmi Devi Radasi Gane Karena Bandhane. When the procession arrived, the maid servants of Goddess of Fortune began to arrest all the principal servants of Lord Jagannath. Bhandiya aniya pade Lakshmi racharane Chorayena dvandvakari layananadhane. The maid servants bound the servants of Jagannath, handcuffed and made them fall down at the lotus feet of Goddess of Fortune. Indeed, they were arrested just like thieves who have their riches taken away. Here Prabhupada is writing, when Lord Jagannath starts his car festival, he gives assurance to Goddess of Fortune that he will return the next day. When he doesn't return, the Goddess of Fortune, after waiting 2 or 3 days, begins to feel that her husband has neglected her. She naturally becomes quite angry, gorgeously decorating herself and her associates. She comes out of the temple and stands before the main gate. All the principal servants of Lord Jagannath are then arrested by her maid servants, brought before her and forced to fall down at her lotus feet. So this is the pastime orchestrated literally in Jagannath Puri today, that Lakshmi Devi goes to this temple and the associates of Lakshmi Devi arrests Jagannath Ji servants and they beat them and they make them fall at the feet of Lakshmi Devi, because you promised that you bring Jagannath Ji back within one day, but you did not do it. So they are punished. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally witnessing, and they laugh very nicely and enjoy this pastime. So in this way, this it is still more is there. We will conclude here. Hare Krishna. श्री चैतन्य चरितामृत की जय, हेरा पंचमी फेस्टिवल की जय, ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, शील प्रभुपाद की जय.